Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited that you are joining us this evening for our Oops, All Cryptids game of Sagas. If you didn't know, Sagas is actually kickstarting on Kickstarter. It's launching on Kickstarter. There we go. Literally right now. So we are thrilled to be playing this amazing game as it is being launched. If you're not familiar with Sagas, it is a super cool system. It stands for Setting and Genre Agnostic Setting System, excuse me. And we actually have someone on this call right this moment who is a stretch goal for the Kickstarter. So Amber, would you like to talk about that kickstarting goal?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Hi, everybody. My name is Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am, yeah, holy. Can I curse on this stream?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to be a stretch goal for Sagas. If we unlock $30,000, which I'm sure we will, because my God, the hype around this game has been crazy. I'm going to be writing a 20,000 word supplement on how to run the anime game of your dreams in Sagas. And I have so many animes that I'm going to be watching, and like, just so that I can get I'm gonna get the full anime experience. You're gonna be able to play Fruits Basket. You're gonna be able to play Ouran High School Host Club. You're gonna be able to play Naruto and Boruto and also Pokemon. Whatever you want, you can literally do it, because that's the point of Sagas, is to be able to play any genre or setting or anything that you're interested in playing, and make it come to life at your table. And that's does it will have Psyche Kuso if you so wish. That's I got 20,000 words to make it happen. So yeah, um, you're welcome, Froggy. But yeah, so please, the Kickstarter goes live in about 18 minutes. I've put the link in chat. I would love to see us hit that stretch goal super soon. But yay! Thank you for having me. Thank you for having this entire table, Jess. This is so exciting. Go team.
You're muted for us.
No, I'm not muted. What are you talking about? How dare you say that, Frogman?
Slander.
Wow.
Slander.
Yes.
Slenderman.
So please go and check out the Sagas Kickstarter. It is pinned in the chat right now, as Amber was saying. My name is Jess. I am not muted. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And I am so excited to have everyone here with us this evening. And I will popcorn it over to Justin to introduce himself.
Oh, snap. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I'm GM Justin. You can find me all over the place at Forever GM Justin. And I'm excited to be at this table. This is going to be fun. And I'm going to throw it back to Jess to pick the next person.
Oh, okay. This is not how popcorn works, but I am the teacher and you are all my students now. Popcorn it over to On.
Hi, I'm On, and I'm definitely not muted. I'm On. My pronouns are she, they. I am the creator of the TTRPG channel Roll D5, where we specialize in playing indie developed games. My channel is actually streaming right now, but pick us currently. I'm split. Anyways, I'm really excited to play Sagas. This has been so exciting to watch this all come together, and I love this cast so much. So thanks for thinking of me.
Hell yeah. And now we're going to go over to Amber, who you've already heard from, but now we're going to hear from them some more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll make this short. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. Anywhere there's internet. I am a 3-time Emmy-nominated TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer who that will never sound real. And I know, it's so crazy. Let's see what happens with this game. And I'm just really thrilled to be here. Squad up, Paul, let's go. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing a wonderful cryptid with the rest of this incredibly talented cast who I love so much. So go team. I never know what to say.
I feel that. Over to you, AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Sushi Kid. I go by he, they. I definitely did not get kidnapped by Jess for this game. But I am the technical producer over on Critical Misses. And I'm a video editor. I do a lot of other things. We're here. We're queer.
Ooh, ooh. All right, take
Get
us
used to
home,
it.
Steve.
I would love to. Hi, everyone. My name's Steve. I'm also not on mute. My pronouns are currently he, him. I am one of the co-hosts of a podcast called Asians Represent, where we talk about Asian representation in all pop culture media, tabletop RPGs, video games, whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. I am going to be the GM for today. I'm really excited to play some more Sagas. I've played a bunch of games as a player in Sagas. This is my first time ever GMing it. And I mean, we can talk about this later, but it was really easy to prep this one. Like I prepped this one really, really tired over a couple pints of beer at a bar. And like I was good. Like it's golden. Like my post-it notes are just sitting in front of me. I'm ready to go. Finally, shout out to AJ. I saw the face you made when we talked about Naruto. I'm not gonna forget that.
No. Naruto's fine. It's just the sun.
Okay, yeah, okay. So Boruto, that deserves a deep analysis. I understand. Never mind. I retract my statement. We'll talk about this later. Anyways, Jess, anything else we're missing?
We're here to have fun and support this kick-ass TTRPG. So we're already supporting the TTRPG, so let's have some fucking fun.
Hell yeah. All right, for my players, remember those safety tools and everything we talked about before. So keep that top of mind just in case. Remember, super chill. Let's dive into today's game. So we find ourselves, the camera kind of panning into like a pretty sleepy Midwest United States town. It is Erie, Indiana, named after the lake, but now named Erie, Indiana, for its reputation for housing some interesting creatures, some which are hard to photograph, that are hard to, study and things like that. And we zoom into a tour group. There are tourists, they're wearing their typical stuff. They're not from around here, but they're on a tour around the city, and they're bored out of their minds. The tour guide is just not carrying this, which is a shame. The tour guide goes on, Erie, Indiana was founded really from immigrants in 1922 as Polish refugees began to come in, and everyone's like not paying attention. The tour guide drones on that other immigrants from the 1960s, 70s from Southeast Asia and Vietnam came in, and they really couldn't find a place to settle. But the people who were already settled there, the Polish refugees, welcomed with open arms. No one's paying attention. It talks about how a lot of Mexican immigrants were here as well. They couldn't find a place to set up a church that would let them, but these Polish and these Vietnamese immigrants were welcomed with open arms. They opened up a Mexican church, but no one's paying attention because what they're waiting for is to go to the prize of the city. Well, one of its prizes. They have a headquarters for the National Enquirer, a reputable magazine that focuses just on cryptid sightings, Bat Boy, Mothman, all those kind of things. It's the only thing they focus on, and that is their prime journalistic integrity. And once they're in there, the tour lights up. Everyone's looking at the various things, the various taxidermy things that are put together that are in the lobby. They're asking questions. They're suddenly super, super into it. And this tour guide cannot handle it. Our camera kind of goes over to a group of, younger tourists and things like that. And they have found every single top cryptid that has been named year over year. They get their own front page and a headline and a little bit of text to tell you a bit about them. So we're going to go back in the annals here. I'm going to ask one of my players, when your character was featured on the cover of that year's Cryptid of the Year, what did it look like and what was the title?
Okay, for Mothman specifically, the title cover looks like Mothman wearing a cape, with
Good.
the cape kind of covering their face like this. Mothman uses he, she, they pronouns. And the cover title was Motty Boy Likes Being Motty. Motty. Because Mati is their nickname.
Oh, very cute. I love that. what's the next cover that the camera kind of zooms in on here?
I think we should stick with the Mothman theme, and we pan over to a similar-looking moth, but it's titled "Mother is Mothering," and it is a photo of Moth Mommy. Moth Mommy has a very unique ability called Control Fire. So it's an image of her, they, pretty much anything they'll use, using their wings in some really beautiful fashion to control the fire on a building, saving a whole bunch of people.
Oh, saving them. Oh,
Yeah.
what a spicy year that was. And you know what?
She was feeling nice that day.
Absolutely. And you know, the town themselves, they're really into cryptids, and they understand that they are very much a force on their own. People tend not to really disturb them, but, you know, they also kind of give them space. I love it. I love it. So we have moth folks representing. They actually took it 2 years in a row, which was unprecedented. But the next year was definitely one to remember. What was next year's?
The next year featured something significantly more aquatic. The shot itself was taken from underneath the water. There's like bubbles in the frame of you know, just pockets of air escaping up to the surface, and in the like middle ground of the photo, so like not necessarily like, you know, super the object of the photo, but you know, still an air of mystery surrounding it, is the silhouette of the Chesapeake Bay monster, who is a distant relative of Nessie. Chessie, as she or they are more commonly known as, is a little bit smaller of a like Leopleurodon type creature.
Leopleurodon!
It's
You have to show us the wings.
Let's all show our age.
I didn't know y'all would like jump into any.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you mean that's not going to light a fire in our brain, Amber? Come on.
Yeah.
It's a magical Leopleurodon, Charlie. Okay.
You have to show us the wings.
Okay. It's actually, that's the title. It's a magical Leopleurodon is the title of the magazine, but it's just Chessie like kind of like in the water, looking very, very elegant and floating among like all of the kelp and pollution that exists in the Chesapeake Bay. But the thing is, on land, Chessie is very much not as elegant or grand as she may appear. But I guess we'll get to that later.
I love how that year's editor was like feeling very artistic, very like Shape of Water almost on the cover of the magazine. But hey, you know, it's Erie, Indiana. There were worse things that happened in the past. All right, who was on next year's cover?
Next year's cover wasn't as interesting. It features Larry. It's a frog. It's a frog.
Mm-hmm.
It's a frog guy. But the thing about this frog, it's a tomato frog, but it's walking across the street with a little suitcase and looking at their watch.
Okay.
And it says the the headline says "Riveting Business." What I keep on forgetting what the cryptid is. The Loveland Frog, who is just a frog guy. Just a frog guy. His actual name is Stephen Rick Flea Swallow.
Great.
Yeah, he's a business frog.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, that one, not nearly exciting, but definitely like a change in like the direction of the magazine for that year. And to be honest, that whole riveting headline, I mean, the writer there definitely got like a bigger corner office after that was done.
They
Like,
went
it
leaps and bounds about it.
Absolutely. I have no frog pun for this. I apologize. Actually, I feel really bad. We should end it here.
Do you need a toad? Do you need a toad?
Let's talk about it at the break. I could maybe use one. But I could bum a toad, yeah. And last but not least, there's one more cover we need to talk about before we move on.
So the cover for the next year decided to have a little fun with it. It was using the what is it? You know how growing up, like you had if you move the page a certain way, it would change the image.
Yeah.
So the initial image that you see is a Christmas scene, with the title "You Better Watch Out, You Better Not Cry, You Better Not Pout, and I'm telling you why El Cucuy is coming to town." And it says on the first part, it'll have you'll see two red beady eyes on the outside of the house, of the window. And then when you move it over to get the other image, you'll see as the cloak figure is really close, even closer to you, with a huge smile with teeth about as sharp as daggers.
Oh yeah. No, that's getting back to the old school roots of where the magazine was, because they used to have brain eating aliens and things like that on the cover, that kind of really lean into the horror of it. So this one was definitely seen as one of those callbacks, and people ate it up. They loved it. And as the crowd is scrambling over to take pictures of old magazine covers, because they have the originals that are here, and they're asking questions to the tour guide and things like that, suddenly the tour guide's watch beeps, and you can see they're wearing a really, really high-tech watch, right? It's way too big, barely tells time, but it has a bunch of other features. If you want to order pizza, there's a dedicated pizza button for it, which no one uses, but it is there. And they go, unfortunately, the tour is up. I do want to thank our sponsors, Fox Dynamics, for investing so heavily into Erie, Indiana. Without them, really, we would be in economic shambles. So we want to thank them for investing to build their next Dynamics factory right here in Erie, Indiana. So let's give them a round of applause. And then the tourists are like, what? And the camera kind of begins panning out. And Erie, Indiana doesn't look good. The year is currently 2014. For context, iPhone 6s are the newest rage. That, if you need a hint of what's going on here. A lot of the roads aren't really well kept. Despite all of this investment into the city and things like that, it's kind of not maintained. A lot of the local businesses, they're really struggling, right? They're making ends meet. It's not looking great. There's tons of just, things that need to get fixed up. As the camera kind of pans out like a drone shot, we see the outskirts of town. The wildlife is not doing well. Things are beginning to kind of brown and die. And as the camera pans out even more, we see the mostly finished Fox Dynamics factory. It is a large, white, towering box. And from it spills all kinds of exude into the environment. We see many, many trucks driving up beaten roads, trodden down on the plant life and the wildlife, making tons of noise, spewing out black smoke, parking, idling, loading up, and then driving things away. This town has been injected with millions and millions of dollars. Very few residents have actually seen it, and as such, many people have begun leaving. Erie, Indiana is kind of not really what it used to be. The camera begins slowly zooming back into the people, and we zoom into the police station. They are also a reflection of the current state of Erie, Indiana. Not too many people here. That coffee pot needs to be cleaned. It needs some CLR, but the folks are just so tired and so run down that they're just drinking bad, calcium-ridden coffee. And you can see that they have a lot of pictures on their wall with red string around them. You can hear kind of like the muffled, subtitles here of the sheriffs kind of discussing. There's been a string of murders in Erie, Indiana. The camera kind of shows that there are pictures of some of the crime scenes. These people that have been murdered, deep, almost surgical lacerations. The people that were targeted tend to be people that were kind of outcasts. Despite the kind of hodgepodge of people, the immigrants and things like that, even among these people in these groups, they were generally seen as outs of those groups. And the police are racking their brains. They just found their third body. But as cryptids, you try generally not to concern yourself too much with human affairs. Yeah, it's tragic, but they're humans. They should deal with human things. That's not really your thing. And as the camera begins to pull away from the police station, we go back to the wilderness, back out to nature. And if we go far away enough from Erie, Indiana, we do find where nature has begun to reclaim that space. And it's almost tranquil. It's happy. It's peaceful. And we zoom in because there is a cryptid commune that exists just a couple kilometers miles outside of Erie, Indiana. And today we're having a potluck. So we are currently celebrating. It is just one of those random things. You have like once a month, really. And sometimes people just forget what you're celebrating, but it doesn't really matter. Everyone's bringing kind of all their food. I'm going to put all of our players inside of a kitchen-like setting. What's cooking? What are all y'all bringing to today's potluck?
I think maybe that Moth Mommy and I went in on some blood wine that we'd offer to our fellow cryptids. Not sure if they want to partake with us, being it is from a bloody nature, but we are vampiric ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you know that the Mongolian deathworm is like a really big fan of kind of like that cross like cultural thing, because Mongolian deathworm loves like a little bit of like, viscous wine. So, that's going to be a crowd pleaser for sure. What else is being brewed up?
Well, the thing about Jessie is that she absolutely is friends with every single crab and mollusk and anything that lives in the Chesapeake Bay, which made it really hard for her to pick up some of her friends as she made a soft shell crab boil for this potluck. But the thing is, it's real authentic and it's real connected to the actual Chesapeake Bay. She really brought in a lot of where she's from because it's all filled with the detritus and gunk that exists in the Chesapeake Bay. There have been some efforts to clean up the water in recent years, but it's not been enough. But at least the crabs are crabbing.
Absolutely. And you happen to know that the Kappa has been so excited for this. And you're not exactly sure why. They've been kind of, loosey or kind of like tight-lipped about it. But they seem to have something kind of like brewing in that brain pan of theirs. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
Right.
Yeah, Steven,
Amazing. Holy shit.
it was,
Sorry.
very plain. I don't know.
For just like a moment, it's so worth it.
How's potato salad, with raisins, but it's not raisins. It's flies. It's flies.
You're
You know
just
what?
going
I think I prefer that over raisins, to be honest, in my potato salad. Yeah.
That's fair.
Have you ever had a potato salad with raisins in it? It's like a slap to the face. It truly is. It's so
Yeah.
offensive. Yeah. I have never met someone who puts raisin in a potato salad who's also a good person. So like let that sink in.
Okay.
I say that as I'm sure there's like people in the audience who like do that and they're like unbelievable. Unsubscribe. So sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
For me, it would be just the kitchen setup, and then nothing's there at the corner. At one point, someone turned around. I'm there, and I have like a huge platter. I'm like, where can I put these? And then I'm just gonna like hover over to like the closest space, and then I'm just gonna like set them apart, and I'll have like a special section for the different types of tamales that I brought with me. So some will be of pork, some will be of with chicken, and then I'll also throw in specific ones for vegetarians because it's 2014 and we're trying to expand our palate, right? And then on top of that, because I have a couple of my friends here are don't necessarily subscribe to the other one, so I made them specifically for, one's gonna have like a little bit of flies and stuff from the swamp, some with fish, and then others with the lining of blood within them. It's just like, and with their little thing, like a little como se dice, the little card to say like what each one of them has, and then like thank you,
Label.
and then a label, there you go, and then I'll just zoom out and like just flash out to another spot.
This like shy, like kind of awkward El Cucuy, am I saying it right?
Kukui. Coco also works too.
Coco, okay. But
Yeah.
I'm loving this energy of just like, I hate children, but also I made you a bunch of food. Also, don't look at me.
Don't perceive me.
Excellent. So, with all of our food prepared, unless anyone wants to prepare more food, because there's always room for more food. But if there's not,
I just want to say, Steven does not know how this tastes. He has a bad sense of taste.
I think that's fine. But also, potato salad is like your safest bet. Like the floor and the ceiling of potato salad are like parallel, right? Like it doesn't really change.
That's why he makes it.
Yeah. And I apologize to anyone who's like a big potato salad fan. Like I'm just like unfairly ranking on this one.
Salad.
We're totally right.
There's so many better salads. I'm saying like you make it. Anyway,
I make a
sorry.
really good potato salad. I'll make it for you one day, and you will agree that there are good potato salads.
All right.
Great,
well,
in fact.
I remain skeptical, but I am intrigued if that's a positive enough
Yes,
to get
it
out
is.
of this. Okay. With that, we find ourselves kind of at the banquet in this like wilderness area. The current, person who's in charge, not really a mayor, not really like an elder, but the jackalope who came over in 1920 does kind of proceed over things and helps kind of guide things. So this little rabbit with deer antlers is hopping around. Oh, and they have buck teeth too. Begins hopping around, directing people. The mole goes here, the potato salad goes in the trash, the wine can go over here, things like that. And with that, a couple of the other cryptids kind of show up and begin schmoozing and mingling. And there are some string lights. A lot of them have like preserved skulls with like candles in them, so it gives you like that spooky little vibe. But there's string lights, so that's fun too. Amber, Chessie is approached by the Kappa, and the Kappa's a shy cryptid, and just kind of walks up very shyly, and then hands you a small kind of like terrarium, aquarium. It's like the small, like tank size.
Question for you: is there a check required in talking to this, to this creature?
There could be a check if you want it. So one thing I really like about Sagas is like it's very narrative driven. Like you just kind of like do your own thing. But if you're like, I feel like a check is like I vibe with a check, we can make a check happen, and like we can go with that.
Because I also took shy.
Yeah.
So, I think to do more than just like silently. So Chessie is just going to like see the Kappa. So here's where Chessie is at the gala. There's like, I'm sure like a big pool or area for all of the aquatic.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's like a big pond, right? There's like a tire swing, but it's not actually a tire. It's like a bunch of like brambles and things like that. So it got like that wood wreath kind of vibe.
Excellent. Yeah. So I think like Chessie's like sitting, it kind of like splayed out on the edge of this pond area, and trying to like dip their like, I wanted to say flaps. That's not correct. Their flippers into the water, just to at least get some moisture going. And they see the Kappa come up, and immediately Chessie like wants to slip into the water, and but just instead it's just doesn't say anything, just looks up with big leopardon eyes, and just slowly raises her flippers and accepts the aquarium, and just
what is this?
So the Kappa, equally shy, kind of like hesitates, shaky breath. Lotus root. Lotus. Oh no, you go. Or I can go. Or you.
No, cool.
I can. You should.
Thank you for your Thank you so much for your gift.
Oh, gift. It's not. Maybe gift's like it's too strong of a word. It's not really a gift. It's like So lotus root is a plant that thrives in polluted waters, and it's a filter plant. And I thought maybe I don't want to be too forward. I think I think maybe you should have that.
Oh wow, Kappa, thank you so much. This is so kind of you. I wish I had something to give you.
And Chessie like roots around and finds like a blue crab, just a spare blue crab laying around, just one, and just
maybe a good friend for you, maybe.
And the Kappa's eyes like begin to animate, well up, and just like hold out their hands like together to accept it. And as they do, they bow forward, and all of the water in their head comes out.
Oh no.
And of course they're paralyzed, they can't move, but that's okay. You just refill the head, and then like they'll be fine.
Oh no. With like one flipper, Chessie like scoops up water and dumps it like in the Kappa's head, just to refill their tank.
And then proceeds 5 brutal moments, 5 minutes of just like brutal apologizing to each other with no one accepting an apology and looking to just like escalate the apology. It is a nightmare to observe. Just like, what? Oh, come on. AJ, I see your face, and I'm like, you good?
You're gonna make me cry off my makeup.
Oh,
That was so cute.
And
with the frogman's probably nearby, and Chessie is probably just like too nervous to say anything, but just like makes eye contact maybe. It was a lot for her to come out here.
Yeah, I think Steven is just kind of it's just kind of standing and holding the potato salad, not really knowing where to put it. Just oh, just like looking at like probably like what like a buffet style of like the potluck. It's just like kind of like just
Yeah. And every single time you go to like try to put it down where like it looks at their space, Jackalope says like, no, put that dish and points to someone else where you're gonna put it, and like you're left still holding your potato salad.
oh.
Yep. And then Jackalope gives you like, oh no, just like go around the other side, and then like it's really really vague, but it clearly like is a direct enough direction to make you do something, while they go and do something else. Like you're definitely getting the runaround here.
You're gonna hear behind you, Steven, my voice come up and be like, "Are you looking for a spot?"
Oh yes, I am trying to find the spot for this for the potato salad that I brought.
Okay, I know a spot. Follow me, and then you're gonna see my cloaked figure just kind of lead you towards one of the directions of towards like where my dish is.
Every single time he hops, whoop, whoop, whoop.
Love that. Yeah, built-in sound effects for this cryptid. I love it.
Yes. And we'll put down the dish right next to yours.
Perfect.
I'm glad I could be of assistance. Do you need anything else?
Oh no, I'm just wondering when Jack is gonna let us start feasting.
It should be any moment now, but we should probably interact with people. I think that's what we're supposed to do.
And with that, like a cold shadow approaches Coco, and from the darkness appears a severed torso of a woman with bat-like wings. It's the Managongo. And she seems to be interested in the El Kukui and says, "I've been looking for you."
Oh, it's Maddie.
I've been thinking mole and adobo would go really well together. And she produces from the darkness within her folds of horror, like this like really nicely cooked down like pork bones and things like that, just like follow the bone type stuff in its own kind of sauces. But she's serving it, this is pretty non-traditional, but I like it this way. She serves it with like lettuce wraps and like a little bit of like cooked down veggies and things like that, and a little bit of pickles. So she's got like a tray of like you kind of make your own like lettuce wrap kind of thing. And she goes, "I think mole with this particular batch would be to die for."
It's just gonna be like me turning to face them, and then like my eyes still very beady, is going to like anime style smile and be like, "That sounds amazing. I can't wait to try this later."
Yeah, and the Managongo has like the anime like blush going on, despite being like this horrible like eater of man.
I just imagine like the like horror void that she produced that from. It was kind of just kind of like screams and darkness and whatnot, and Steven is just like standing there, but it's very much the like the face that Saitama gets when like debris is like going off and like hitting his face. Is like, ah.
Yeah. Okay, ... Not even like a third dot in the ellipsis, just like okay, ... Yeah. I feel ya.
Okay, I have to ask because I did make this my struggle. Is there anything particularly shiny around?
Shiny.
Same struggle.
Same struggle. So the
Third
shiniest thing would have to be, let me just double check here on this tab that I had pulled up. just help me flesh out this particular party. I'm gonna go Mongolian Deathworm as the shiniest thing here. Here's why.
Oh my
So
god.
Mongolian Deathworm in this particular iteration is not like one giant worm, but is actually like several worms, like millions of worms put together in like a human kind of form. So like millions of worms, like, kind of cool like that. They're the shiniest thing here because they're really, really slimy. And it just so happens that when you like rotate that quickly in the light, you just kind of like, you kind of have to like take a peek. You know what I mean?
Okay. I think probably Steven like sees the shine, immediately like looks over, realizes it's the Mongolian Deathworm, is like, oh, sorry. Okay, alright. It's just
So yeah, Mongolian Deathworm is actually like one of like the more popular kids. Coming over really, really early on. A lot of the Eastern European cryptids had come over first, but this one particular came on and really like kind of, you know, brought in a lot of knowledge about how to really get a lot of blood out of nature, which ended up being a great kind of, you know, life hack for all of the cryptids here. It just so also happens that the Mongolian bloodworm also produces a lot of blood, just in general. So like, if ever there's like a shortage, Mongolian Deathworm can just kind of like hack off a limb. And yeah, it's not the best. Like you really want something like locally sourced. But in times of struggle and things like that, Mongolian Deathworm has literally given up, you know, body for the community.
They come in clutch.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mongolian Deathworm has actually been looking for Mother and Mothman because there's like a good wine going around. So you see like so Steven sees Mongolian Deathworm like do that kind of like really heavy step and like slurk up and like take another step and just kind of like strut around the party.
Darling, over here.
Oh! And you can see like their face go through their face to the back, and then they just reverse all their limbs and begin like walking back over towards you. I've been looking everywhere for you. So little birdie told me that you might have blood wine that is, as they say, I already used it to die for pun. God damn it. Really good.
For using it twice.
Oh, this is why you're one of my favorites.
I know, darling. Now sit down. Let me get you some. Now here you are.
Oh, thank you. And Mongolian Deathworm's head just kind of sinks into like their like chest cavity or so, and then just like pours it into like where their chest would be.
That fascinates me every single time. What skill you have?
It's nothing. You know, I like to think that it's the best way to really enjoy wine, but I'm a little bit of a snob.
Just a little. Now, Monty, where did you get this one this time? I don't quite recall.
Well, the dog was walking itself home, and I decided that maybe it would take me to its owner. And it did. And I'm going... And I'm going to turn to DW, and I'm going to say, DW, you surely are the shiniest one here. The frog saw you, the frog started to walk towards you, and then decided against it.
Well, who wouldn't want a glance or even a piece of this? And kind of like drags like a hand sensually over its worm body.
It's honestly
things I didn't think I would say in this stream, and here we are.
Here we are. I think I'm going to like pull out one of my like clawed hands and say, "You really are just the best one here."
Don't take
Gonna
anything,
make me-
Monty.
I did not hear you at all, Erica. Or I'm so sorry.
It keeps cutting off, so that's on me. I need to figure out my mic. Monty, don't steal anything.
Well, how could I steal all of DW?
unheard of. At least ask permission first.
DW, would you like to come home with me? Or at least 200 of you?
That's better. Good job.
Oh, what an honor. Just 200? Oh, I could spare. And you can see DW kind of like count worms onto one of the palms. Probably like 500.
Deal. I'm taking you with me, and I'm just going to like scoop them and put them into a pocket in my cape.
Yep. And it's like nothing. Like Mongolian deathworm is fine, just like walking away from that. And as that, like, people begin schmoozing and like getting here, and you see that there are a wide spectrum of cryptids from all the various cultures that have come to Erie, Indiana over the years, almost a century now. It seems like the jackalope looks to be kind of gathering people in for like a big old speech. And as you kind of gather, Jackalope says, "Well, friends, we are once again gathered for a lovely dinner. There's a lot of proteins, a lot of bloods. If you're looking to avoid the potato salad, it is right over here. I'll put up a sign so you see where it is, if you want it, or if you don't. But in
It's just like whispers, must be someone else's."
But, like I said, like I was getting to, this is a time for all of us to celebrate togetherness, our community, and suddenly they are cut off as a tree is like knocked over, a smaller tree, but like a tree is knocked over, and heavy footsteps are heard. Out from the wilderness is the Sasquatch, and in their arms is a bloody mess wrapped in cloth.
Darling, that's not your new soap line, is it?
So Sasquatch just like bounds in and just like and then knocks over a bunch of food, potato salad included, and puts
Steve is like, "Fuck you and your fucking potato salad."
Yeah.
It wasn't yours, Steven, don't worry. It actually was someone else's. You're fine.
For now.
And places it down. And Sasquatch says, "Get all the children out of here. We need to talk about this." And there's like a hush over here. The Sasquatch is, of course, a well-known native to North America. And they have quite a bit of sway here. So you can see a lot of the other cryptids kind of like begin ushering the youngins away and whatnot. But of course, your cryptids, you're well known, well respected in the community. So if you want to say, you can. Jackalope appears and says, "Sassy, tell us everything." And Bigfoot reveals, and inside, wrapped in the cloth, is Goatman, dead.
Damn it. We had such a wonderful night together.
And it'll be the last.
All right. Where did you find him?
By the city. I bet the people did this. The humans.
Well, slow down but a moment, please. We know both humans and cryptids have both gone missing and or have turned up dead, so we don't know for certain, but yes, I do lean towards that assumption. However, we should keep our minds open for possibilities. Let me look at the body more closely, please.
I'm gonna open up the right side of my cape and take out a little notebook and write notes as Moth Mummy
Perfect.
describes them.
Mothma is gonna take her wing and just swoosh off the rest of the table, taking the rest of the others' potato salads down with it in a dramatic fashion, and places the body down on the tablecloth to get a more close look at it.
Excellent. With the thread of potato salad finally put to an end, you do examine the body. I'm not going to require a check for this, unless, of course, you have any medicine or anything like that. In which case, if anyone has any kind of medicinal or first aid, that might come into play here.
I was gonna pick that, but I don't. However, I do have keen sense if that would do anything here. Hearing, vision, touch, taste, smell.
Yeah.
So vision most likely.
Well, you say that.
Oh well, maybe not.
So, I mean, you play your character how you want.
You can try. That's all I heard.
What is very obvious here is that Goatman has suffered deep, clean cuts. So their body is just covered in it. Goatman, of course, has defensive wounds, all that kind of stuff, but they were slashed to death. Very clean, almost surgical cuts.
Good to note. Clean surgical cuts, deep, absolutely thrashing blood loss. There are defensive wounds, so obviously you would fight back. Very good at it, I might add. As for anything else, I don't know if there's anything else to quite decipher here. I think I kind of want Mothmummy to more look at, so he probably attacks with his horns as much as possible. So I want to see if there's any sort of residue or anything on his horns that are not of his own.
For sure. Would anyone else like do anything while I kind of like percolate that?
When Mothmummy mentions all of the defensive type, the wounds, could I use my journalist ability to kind of see if that may have happened in other spots, if this is a common theme?
Could you repeat that for me? I didn't 100% like understand the question.
Basically just kind of piece together like, oh, this is what's going on within the town too.
Yeah. So I think your character, if your character is more attuned to like human nature and things like that, the string of murders, of course, is like a big talk of the town. There's not too many people still left in the town, but like the gossips and the busybodies, they talk about it all the time. 5 years from now, it's going to be a true crime podcast, so like it's going to be big.
Then I'll probably pop in and say, it looks like based off of what you just said, that we have a serial killer on the loose, because the humans were talking about that as well.
Is this something all of us that are in the room can see and hear? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this has now become like a gathering of like the council members. There's not really a council. It is like the people who feel that they would be willing to take responsibility and like accountability and like take action here. These are the cryptids that remain, while the rest kind of go off and focus on other things.
Jesse?
So,
Yeah,
You look like you have something to say.
I'm just. They went after Goatman, and he's like the most sociable of us all.
It's a very good point. So, speaking of that, do you by chance know who he was socializing with last before coming here?
That
Would
sounds
that be
like a jealous lover sort of thing, sister.
Oh, Marty, that is my favorite trope. Write that down, put a star next to it, because I love it. Perfect.
It could be a jealous lover. It could be, or like a scorned ex. It could be, maybe like an obsessed fan. I don't know. I'm just thinking of all of the romance novels that I read.
So as Chessie like begins to like go through various theories, Mother realizes that the horns and whatnot and the rest of the body there are small flecks of some metallic material. So Goatman did fight back, probably. And their body, their fur, things like that, they do have like little bits of some kind of worked metal, something machined.
Marty, here's something interesting to write down as well. There's some flecks of some sort of metal in his horns. I would suggest a car, but that would not produce such slashes, right?
So Sasquatch puts a foot down here, and says, "I know exactly what happened. It must have been that human who lives out in the wood, that lumberjack, with his axe and his weird ways of just being antisocial. Even the humans don't like him. It must be him."
I've heard that humans actually really like lumberjacks and think they're quite attractive. And for that, I will say that I'd be happy to visit this lumberjack.
Not alone, of course. Who knows what they might be doing, showering, chopping wood. It might be... I'll go with you.
Sounds downright horrendous.
Absolutely. It is definitely that lumberjack. Though I guess it could also be...
Hold up.
Yeah?
Any tension is gone.
I wanna, cause I assume this is not the first cryptid that this has happened to? Or is this the first cryptid that this has happened to?
Steven, you were kind of tuned into like the politics. For how much the cryptids kind of like slander your potato salad and things like that and kind of play you off.
Look,
You're
I'm in
business.
administration.
Yeah, no, you know how things work. Like you read the books, you have the ledgers, you see the line items, if you know what I mean. No, it's not. Now, Jack has done a great job of just kind of like keeping it away from the general populace without causing like obviously they don't want to cause a commotion or things like that. Cryptids do get killed by humans every once in a while. Like it does happen. Someone who gets a little trigger happy, they get a little too close to the farm. It happens and it's tragic. Up to this point, Jack has not seen this as like really anything out of the ordinary. Something to really just kind of mourn and move out of. But Steven, no, there's been multiple cryptids. And from the various reports or whispers or however you get your information in this commune, it's not the first who has signs of deep lacerations.
Yeah, because my brain first was just like, oh, it can't be an because I heard obsessed fan, but usually obsessed fans take something from them as well.
Mhm.
And it seems like everything about Goatman is still there, but is just like cut very precisely.
The humans had mentioned that they were experiencing something like this as well. You said surgical, correct?
Sasquatch goes, it's one of those $5 words for what's really a cut, a slash.
I mean, you are correct. However, I want to take a deeper look again. I want to see if these wounds were done while he was alive, or like what was done while he was alive and what was done after he died.
Yes. So let's call for a check here. Let's actually do a check, because this is now getting into like that kind of like weird territory here. Do you have anything that applies, or you think would apply to this check?
So I do have sensitive sense. I also have paramedic, which doesn't totally apply since it's more of like a healing thing.
Yeah.
But so if anything, sense.
Okay, so I think those two together will give you some kind of bonus. So for
Okay.
sagas, every single check in the game is I always forget this, is a D10 or D8? I think it's a D8, right?
Currently sensitive or sense is D12, but if you do the combining, I think it is a D10.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. I think
I remember.
every check is... So there's only one roll in this game, and I always forget it. So if nothing applies, use a D10. D12 is like your worst option. So I'm going to give you a D8 for this one. So the way Sagas works is roll really, really low. Low is your best. Ones are crits. Obviously, if you have a D12 to roll, your chances of getting one are less than if you have a D10, less than a D8. So I'm going to say, based on your kind of experience and things you have, a D8. And I have a difficulty in mind, and the difficulty is going to be a, I'm going to say it's a 6. So 6 or lower.
It's a 4.
It's lower than a 6, so it succeeds.
Oh
Lower
yeah,
is
that's
better.
right. Oh,
Lower is better in this game.
It's so hard when you play for so long, getting like the high numbers, and then you get a low number, you're like, dang it! But then it's like the opposite.
Yeah.
Love it.
I like it takes a bit of time, but with sagas, ones are always good. So every single die has a 1, and it's always good.
Yeah.
So, that said, you were looking for kind of these cuts. Goatman was only suffering cuts while alive. There are no post-mortem cuts. In addition, based on Steven's observation, which may or may not have been public, but I'll give this information to you anyways, Goatman is more or less whole. All Goatman bits are there.
So, like, does he have pockets we can investigate and
No.
look into?
Just him as a goat.
No, he's a Goatman.
Oh, well, sometimes goat people wear clothes, so we can't assume what they
No,
do
no,
or
sorry,
don't
sorry.
do.
This is Goatman, right? They're like no clothes. Yeah.
This is
Okay.
all in him
This
is
is-
full glory.
This
Oh.
is Goatman we're talking about.
Full dong out. Great.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Did they say that it was like clean cuts? Like, is that what we have discovered, that they're clean?
You have discovered that. Excuse me, I just dropped my pen. You have discovered that, but Sasquatch isn't really interested in it. This is cut to death, as far as Bigfoot is concerned.
You know, Sass, I know you have a pretty big out with the lumberjack. Look, it just like opens up. Opens up his suitcase. I have all 54 of your reports and your complaints about the lumberjack. However, you have to look with your eyes. This is too clean for an axe.
Okay.
We can still go to the lumberjack, but it's too clean.
Okay, well, Steven, you see, sometimes the lumberjacks also go to the fishing river and they fish and then they fillet the fish, and maybe the lumberjack filleted Goatman with precision instead of axing him to death.
Wonderful observation.
Thank you. I observed it myself.
So proud of you.
So, I think it was the lumberjack. But if it wasn't, I guess if I had to take a second guess, if I had to, and it was my second one, not my first one, there is that one human lady who has that thing on her mantle. I don't know the word for it, but it's that long thing that's inside of a case that sits on a stand. I think...
A
sword? A sword?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, I
So-
had no idea what you were referencing.
So there's that woman, I think I think the humans call her the Bick, the bitch, the Bick. I don't know the word.
Bitch is the correct word. Yeah.
Oh,
She's the one with all of the cats.
Oh, it's definitely not her.
I said if I had to make a second guess.
Oh,
And I'm telling
she's
you
second
right-
guess, so this wasn't your first. Oh, it was your second.
Is my
Yeah.
second guess. And to be quite honest, at this point in time, I don't think there could be a third option. If there was a third option, me as Bigfoot would be very surprised.
By
Yeah.
chance, could you take us to where you found Goatman?
yeah.
Well-
I feel like maybe there's a lot missing here with Goatman's body out of context.
Well, Jack, it's your call. And the jackalope seems like pented fingers behind in front of buck teeth and says, okay, well, I think if you can keep this under wraps and try to solve this before it becomes a big thing. By the way, thanks for showing a body in front of everyone. If you can solve this and put this away and wrap it up, then I'll make it worth your while.
Worth a while.
Well, I mean,
What did all things
incredibly
say?
forward.
look, I mean, you'll be doing the community a big service, and obviously it's a big thing, but I understand how these kind of things work. You know, the humans talk about this all the time. Like, you have to do something in order to get people to do things. You have to offer like, some kind of a
So that's what you're
reward.
trying to. Okay.
I'm doing the thing.
Okay, alright.
Oh.
Valiant effort, my dear. Valiant effort. She's gonna pat him on the head.
No. Mm-mm.
Come on, you know you like it.
And then,
So about that
Angry
field
eyes.
trip.
okay,
Field trip.
you twisted my lucky rabbit foot. Go ahead. Go follow Sassy. Go take a look at the crime scene. But
Right.
please, be discreet. And definitely don't involve any of the humans if you can help it. The last thing we need is a bunch of people kind of just like scouring the woods and those noisy things that they have with the wheels that
Ugh,
honk and they smell terrible.
walking.
We don't need that. All right.
We'll do our best.
All right. Let me know if there's anything else that we can do as part of this community, but like I said, try to keep it under wraps. Sassy, go ahead and show them where you found Goatman.
Oh, will you freeze the body? I'm sure there's some sort of ritual burial, some sort of thing that we need to do for him, so we might as well freeze it in the meantime while we figure it out.
Does anyone know an ice-affine cryptid? Because I don't.
I
Just
do.
keep talking. I don't know one.
I'm on the cryptid wiki. Let me look.
Is Sasquatch's cousin here?
There's
Like the
the,
Oh yeah.
The Yeti?
there's
Yeah.
the Ningen.
Minnesota Iceman.
Ningen? Minnesota Iceman, maybe. Yeah.
The Ningen is an oceanic cryptid that usually is found near Antarctica, observed by crew members of government-operated whale research ships.
Okay.
These sea cryptids mostly just look like ice.
I'm gonna say like looking with ice and like being a fin with ice. I like that. What are they called? Nijming?
Ningen.
Nigen. Negan.
Ningen. Oh fuck!
Okay.
I'm not that good at Japanese
We're
yet.
we're
but it's-
we're gonna
yeah.
go with that one. I kind of vibe with that. It sounds like I'm gonna vibe with that. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I'm gonna look into this because I love cryptids. Cryptids are great.
Yeah.
But I will look into this. But yeah, you could definitely preserve the body until we have final rates. Good idea.
Fantastic.
Chessie just goes, yeah, I think we have some members of like the Antarctic cryptid contingent. They're in the water. Maybe they could help. Maybe.
Yes. Okay, I will take care of this. You have my word. But please, find out what happened and what is happening. So with that, Sassy will take you to the crime scene.
Excellent.
Okay. It's not too far from here. So as cryptids, knowing kind of the paths and things like that, it's pretty easy for you to tell to like amble around. Humans typically have like a really hard time walking on like 2 feet, and like they have to use paths and things like that, and they get lost all the time. But due to your nature, you kind of can get where you need to go, as is cryptids. The crime scene itself. So, Sassy kind of brings you in. This is where I found him. So, you can see there is signs of struggle. Branches broken, things like that. Goatman did fight back for sure. Goatman was definitely approached by something. But that something was actually quite sneaky. I'm gonna need a check to see if anyone can actually spot maybe more information what's going on here. Now, in sagas, you can also assist each other. You can enhance a check. So to help, you can spend 2 effort, and you add 1 die to an ally's check. And you can even do it after the roll. So what that means is you spend 2 effort, which is like separate from your HP. After they roll, you can then spend that effort, and they roll a second time, and they take the better of the 2 results, which is actually pretty OP.
That's pretty dope. I'd like to use my keen sense, but I'd probably be sniffing the air to see if I can smell a difference between the sense of humans versus the sense of a cryptid.
Excellent. So, go ahead and roll that effort. I'm gonna give you a D. What does the actual ability say? Use a D10 or something like that?
It says pick 1 hearing. Well, in this case, I'm smelling, right? So, it says use a D8.
Use a D8. Perfect. I love that.
Oh, I was using my sensitive sense wrong. Mine's a struggle. Yours is keen sense, which is a talent. So I was using mine incorrectly.
You're all good. You're all good. You know what? Everyone forget everything that happened for the last 20 minutes. Let's go back and
let's go back.
the body. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to happen.
Have we compared the body to the potato salad yet?
Oh, good idea. Let's spend 20 minutes on that.
I like it.
Justin,
What if I poured the Kappa's water onto the body? What happens?
Ooh, this is good. This is like a good simulationist thing. Like, is anyone made like a System Shock but just for cryptids? Or like a Deus Ex? That'd be really cool, I think.
That would be dope.
My friend made a one-pager for dating cryptids game show.
A game show for it. I always thought the dating game show kind of like idea was kind of like suspect. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it changes the dynamic. And anyways, I got feelings about this. But
I'll
I'm gonna
have to show you the game.
C is for the after hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got after hours going on for this. But yes, Justin, what'd you get?
I got a 4.
Got a 4. 4 is really, really good. Okay, so you're sniffing, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Goat man. For us.
Goatman almost always smells like people anyways. But with a 4, that's pretty good. You can definitely determine that Goatman probably was alone. You're like 60% sure. But Goatman always smells like people because Goatman loves to party. Goatman is actually one of the cryptids that is actually pretty chill with the humans and actually just kind of shows up and just like drinks and parties and just like has a good time with humans. And humans sometimes like remember Goatman, but there's usually no evidence of it. Like anything that like any pictures that are taken on their iPhone 6, no, they're in Erie, Indiana in 20, and their iPhone OG are really, really blurry. And it could be Goatman. It also just could be like a guy who's really hairy, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But Goatman always smells like people.
Real quick, Marty, I just had a thought. Goatman is super social, yes?
Yes.
I wonder if there are, we should look just, you and me. Potentially one of the cryptids might have gotten upset about how the closeness relationship of the humans. So I would not rule out a
You mean
cryptid
like Jack?
Like Jack. Sassy Jack.
As you begin like discussing a little bit here, Sassy is here as well, just FYI.
Oh yeah, we're being quiet.
But Coco, you
Ooh,
also
actually,
smell.
we're using my telepathy power.
Yes!
Oh,
Yay!
snap. I got nothing. You've had the saga. you've had the Saga's experience TM where you just tell the GM, no. I did my thing. Excellent. But Coco, you also smell something else. A distinct smell of. You don't have the words for this. I have the word for this, and you have the word for this, but Coco doesn't. New car smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would probably like once we get over to the spot, like you're just gonna see me and like just kind of like go up, lift up into the air and just kind of like start floating around like as I'm sniffing for everything, and then just come back around to the group and just be like, so I smell humans, but it is mostly what I think to be Goatman himself. There's another smell I'm not familiar with. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's not something you find out here or within our realm of sense, if that makes sense.
Unfortunately, I can't help with that. I have unfortunately caught a case of something, and I'm highly sensitive right now. But if I smelt it, I might just pass out. Someone would have to touch me.
It's really strong, and I don't, like I said, I don't know how to put it into words. It's really, really weird, but it's nothing I've ever smelled before.
So then it's not of our world, it's of the human.
Yes, it would have to be.
Sassy crosses arms, says, I see, I told you. That lumberjack gets into all sorts of weird things. I bet it was him. Or, I guess, potentially the cat lady who I mentioned before. But like I said, definitely one of those two options, and not a third.
Well, what if there were like, I mean, I'm sorry, I know I'm speaking up a lot, and
Oh,
I just,
darling, please. You have the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there were like animals that might have seen and could potentially be, have been witnesses. They could maybe help us. Can any of you talk to animals? I could talk to fish.
Did we determine how long he'd been dead for?
Oh. Smells pretty fresh. The sense of decay has not kind of like listed in just yet. And I think any of the folks here who are sensitive to like scent and things like that, that's pretty obvious.
Okay.
So Sassy had found this body pretty recently.
I don't know if there are any bodies of water around.
Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have the talent navigate admin.
Okay.
I'm so glad
and
I removed mine because I also had that, and I was like, I don't think.
All right.
Now hear me out. It says checks you make to receive information or resources from an organization, legal or illegal, and to increase your standing within an organization. Can we say that Animal Kingdom is an organization?
I'm gonna say, against my better judgment, I'm gonna say yes. It's a loose kingdom, in that there are there is a hierarchy of who eats who, right? There's a pecking order, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that is an organization of sorts. I think that's going to affect the kind of information you can get, but yeah, I think there's a pecking order, and you could potentially take advantage of it if you convince me.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Steven's just gonna look around, probably like look into the trees and stuff, probably see
Information you can get, but
like,
yeah, I think there's a
If is there any like birds, like squirrels around?
Absolutely, all kinds of woodland creatures.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm gonna go over to a tree and just like lean up against it.
Yeah.
Very not cool at all, but just this frog man. Just like lean like by a squirrel. It's like, hey, you see this? You see this shit going on here?
Yeah. What's up?
Were you around here before? Like, you saw Goat Man around?
I mean, I see a lot of things.
Just like, like goes into like a suit like a pocket, you know, just like holds out like some like fruits and nuts.
Some fucking like acorns, yeah.
Yeah. just not even looking at the squirrel, just holding it out, just like, what'd you see?
Yeah, so the squirrel like shoves him into the cheeks, just like whatever. Okay, I mean, Goatman was around. Kind of got the wrong end. You know what I mean? I don't know how much. Like, I don't want to say too much, but I mean, something came out of the woods, fast, real fast, and just kind of, you know, and he was done. I don't know what we want to hear.
Did you see where it went off to?
Hey man, I'm not into that. I'm no detective here. Okay, well, I mean maybe heading back to town.
Fully just like just
Yeah.
eats the fruits and nuts again.
Yeah, you know, I think we got some good information here. Nice
All
nice doing this exchange.
Yeah. You and I, we never talked. You hear me? And
Yeah,
the squirrel
no.
just kind of like starts backing away, and then like scampers up like a tree.
Well, that looks interesting.
Yeah, I have it on good authority, that, something came fast and started going to town.
Came fast.
Is there like additional tracks on the ground?
None of you are particularly good for tracking by visual tracks. It's more of like a scent tracking, as far as I can tell. Challenge me on that. But I'm pretty sure most of you are more of like a what do you call it? Odor, like an odor hunter.
Yeah. At least on my side, yeah.
I do
So
for like all of the scents, so it's like I can go any direction, but I use smell right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of information to potentially kind of go after here. But with that, I think our intrepid cryptids, we're workshopping it.
I got you.
We're gonna take a pause here. They have a lot of information. It could be that wild lumberjack. There's that mystery person who is a cat lady with
them.
a sword, and definitely there's not a third option. So with that, I think we should maybe take a quick little break, give our players here a chance to relax their brains before we come back. Jess, anything I'm missing before we break here?
Yeah, go and check out the pinned Twitch chat, and you too can support this amazing system, Sagas. And while we're taking a break, stretching our legs, doing a bio break, drinking some water, doing a shrimp check, you should do it too. We'll be back in 10 short minutes. Bye, y'all. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. We are so excited that you are joining us this evening for our Oops All Cryptid stream of Sagas, the system that literally just launched on Kickstarter that's already raised over $1,000. Can I get an ooh ooh? Woo! Go and check out the pinned chat in our channel right now so you too can go and back this amazing system. It is setting and genre agnostic setting or system. I keep saying that. I get it all, the first four, and then the last S gets me every time. But that is what we are currently using, and it is so much fun. You will probably love it too. With that being said, I will kick it over to Steve for a recap, or maybe we're just gonna go straight in. Who knows? Not me.
So the camera zooms back in after like our Full Metal Alchemist moment.
Full
I had a feeling that joke.
Metal Alchemist.
I had a feeling that joke would land. The camera zooms back in, kind of overhead into this clearing here. There is like a Yamcha-sized crater where Goatman was found, and Sasquatch found them. We know that Goatman was murdered by several surgical cuts, clean metallic cuts. We know that metal flecks were found on Goatman's body as he was defending himself, and we know there's a strange scent at the scene of the crime. We describe it as meta people who understand this, new car smell. But as cryptids here, we don't fully understand what that scent is, but it's definitely new. It's novel. It's strange.
And strong.
A little scary. And strong, of course. And with that, we lead back to the group as they decide what to do next.
So about that,
Yes.
lumberjack that may or may not be lumberjacking. Shall we?
Are we hoping to catch him while he's lumberjacking, or potentially as he's making dinner?
Oh, vulnerable in the shower. That's probably. I mean, sorry, that was out loud. That was.
I mean, as long as he isn't like. Sorry, I read about this in one of my novels once. As long as he isn't lumberjacking off, I think we should be okay. Sorry.
One of those streams. Gotcha. Loud and clear.
I will use my telepath power over to Moth Mommy and say, and maybe we will. What an awful thing that would be.
Oh, how upsetting would that be? We must express our disappointment.
Is there an insight check? Is there an insight check roll that I can? I don't believe the first. I feel like
You can't hear that. That's in here.
No. I feel like even though you guys are speaking in your heads, I feel like you have the most like
typical tell.
perverted look. You're like,
Yeah. I think this is like free reign meme. Like guys will go wild for this, like that kind of thing. I feel like you can get those vibes. But there is no insight check in Sagas because I'm gonna be honest. I think insight checks slow the game down, and I think they're actually not really worthwhile. But that's just me.
Love this.
That's just me. But yeah, you can totally have vibes. You can have like suspicious vibes.
Can I want to pop over to Steve and be like, do you think they're communicating to themselves in their heads?
I mean, they're doing the whole like looking at each other and nodding at each other and not saying anything.
It's called being a sibling. We just know.
It could be that twin telepathy.
It could be that
Don't
too.
have that. That's weird.
Sasquatch says, well, what about twin telepathy solve the mystery?
That was really bad, darling. Can you try that again?
Nope. And begins like storming off in a direction. It's probably not the direction. A direction, yeah.
Yeah, do we know where the lumberjack lives?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
You-
was that information given to us?
Yeah, so you all know where the lumberjack kind of resides, and Sasquatch knows where it is. But Bigfoot is generally easily lost in the woods, and that's why they're always caught in like weird areas. So they
Makes
they
sense.
know where it is. Just probably shouldn't be head of the pack. That makes sense.
So I know we don't do a whole ton well visually, so I can take like a whatever kind of roll to make it more difficult. But I want to see, Mother wants to see if there happens to be any tufts of fur around that are not goat mans, that might be sassy jacks.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Let's roll that check. So you don't have a talent for this, so it'd be a straight D10, right?
I believe so. Let me grab my.
Now, when it comes to Jack and Sassy's fur, pretty difficult. I'm gonna say we're looking for like a 4 or better.
Okay.
I'm going to assist if needed.
I would
that by-
love an assist.
Is that spending 2 effort?
Yep.
Cool. So we will spend it after we see the result. I'm telling you, you need a
Okay.
4 or better.
It was a 5.
It was a 5, so it fails.
Mhm.
So at this point, you can spend 2 effort, and we can re-roll that, but you have to describe to me how Mothman helps them.
I'm going to take my big wings and like kind of flap them in the air to like see if I can get tufts of fur to like rise up from the ground.
Oh, I love that.
Excellent.
And I'm just gonna scream while I'm doing it.
That's a good one, yeah.
Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we
Exactly.
hear one of those moth screams? No, we probably should. It was-
Sounds a little
it was
bit like
better
that.
than I ever could imagine. That was so
Yeah.
good.
It really was.
So fun fact, the first game that I ever played with Dennis, the creator of Sagas, I played Mothman, and his special talent was screaming. So now,
No
anytime I play a Mothman, that is their special talent.
Sorry,
I'm
check
so
that.
happy.
So much.
Yes.
Incredible.
All right.
I'm so full of joy. Okay, yes, we re-roll this with effort.
Here we go. A 3.
A 3. Here's what you know with a success. 1, Jack's fur isn't around here.
Okay.
2, Sassy's fur is around here, but like not in like an appreciable way. Nothing like that would be really recent. Just like Sassy tends to like walk around this
Casual
area,
hair.
so it's like casual hair, which is a weird thing to say, but hey, Cryptids game.
But none of Goatman's hair is here.
So, Goatman's hair is here.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it wasn't.
Goatman visits the lumberjack pretty often.
Ooh.
Helping chop some wood, I assume.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what they do. Uh-huh.
Just split that log in half.
I'm going to type
Yep.
what I have to say because I don't want this.
Oh,
This is your channel. You can do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want.
Mutual lumberjack, and we'll just stop there.
Well, I mean, he knows
Incredible.
how to handle wood.
But they have to teach. No, I don't know my limit on this channel, so I will not push
I
it.
have no limit. I will get banned from this channel if
I
it's the last
refuse. I
thing I
want to come
do.
back.
But yes, for Mother, Jack's fur isn't here at all. Sassy's fur is here in a
Okay.
casual way. Goatman makes this trek pretty regularly.
Okay, so like he's probably got fur like all over the place because he's here pretty regularly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm always gonna try and say this not quite an earshot. Just whoever's closest to not let Sassy hear. So as they're like, trotting along. So weird story. None of Goatman's fur is here, despite all of those cuts and gashes that you'd think there would be some of his fur lying around. There's nothing. I don't know what that means yet, but I do know it's weird.
sorry, pause. Goatman's fur is all over
Oh.
here. Because
Why am I
Goatman
thinking
makes
it's not?
Jack's
so-
fur is not here.
Jack's. Wow,
The
Jack's.
Jack's fur is not.
Jackalop's
Jackalop's fur is not here.
Unfortunately, Sass's hair is not here, and I'm a little bit disappointed. Simply because I thought it was him, because it doesn't seem to like humans, and Goatman does. End of my fun story.
I also had a hunch that it was that little sassy Jack. It still could be. Maybe someone else did his dirty work.
Oh.
It might still be worth asking the lumberjack, some questions and just maybe seeing what he knows, just in case maybe he saw or heard something.
You are a genius.
Do you want to take the lead on that?
No. No.
I figured I'd ask. Figured I'd try.
I'm assuming that Steven is on it. Steven is like, there is no council, but like, even though there is no council, Steven is still like the admin of the council.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have access to like ledgers and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a metal wielding cryptid that like is kind of more of a slasher, or just like maybe like a little someone that is possibly newer in town?
This is a very good question. You definitively know there is not a cryptid that uses metal in that way. So if there is going to be like a cryptid who uses like steel and metal in this way, it's not been enough time for them to like manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity is not really that old.
Mm-hmm.
If it turns out to be the cat lady, I would like to adopt all the cats. Just wanted to throw it out.
That's fair.
I'm gonna put in the Twitch chat what I just saw. As when I searched metal wielding cryptid, and I can't unsee that.
I don't know.
I don't wanna. Well, this is fine.
Took
This is
that L
fine.
for everybody. I took that L. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, Amber.
Moving on. So you all approach the lumberjack's hut. So this is on the outskirts of Erie, Indiana. So similar to the rest of the town, this particular shack seems run down. Just like there's not enough resources to really go around. There's like a shed that looks like it's no longer usable, and there's like the cabin main itself, and then the outhouse and all that kind of stuff. As you approach, there's an old graying and white man, probably in his 60s in human years or so. And you can see that he has his flannel wrapped around his waist, and he has like a set of like really old blue jeans that are probably like decades old or so. And he's got a pair of like really nice worn leather boots on. And you can see him just kind of, raising up an axe. And then he puts the axe down. And you can see he kind of like stumbles over to a stump. And he reaches into a blue igloo cooler, pulls out a beer, snaps the cap off of it, and just like drinks slowly. This is kind of like midday or so, maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the sun has just overshot its apex.
So he's just a little sweaty.
Just a little sweaty.
Hi-ho!
Oh,
Shoot. That's our opener.
shit.
So the lumberjack
God damn it.
does not seem surprised. Seems like pretty like,
I mean, him and
Oh.
Goatman, I mean,
in fact, kind of annoyed, kind of like surly about it. And as Steven says like, hello, that's my impression of AJ doing an impression of Kermit.
here.
Goes, fuck. And then just like drinks and sets it down and just like looks expectantly, like, what now?
I'm sorry, that's a bit of a visceral reaction. Can we start over?
And with like an accent that I'm not gonna do, but assume like a broken Polish accent. Someone from Eastern Europe
Okay.
says, "I don't understand. Start over. Go. What do you want?"
We are here to investigate the death of a friend of yours, Goat Man.
What?
I'm gonna telepath over to my sister and say, I think you just broke the news of Goat Man to
I think
Lumberjack Man.
You might be right.
So the lumberjack kind of stands up, and he has a body that's kind of worked through ages. You can see the map of his life across his chest.
I'm ready
and
to
body
read.
and back.
Okay.
And you can see that he comes from like a mixed heritage, where like his graying hair on his head, his eyebrows, and like that little stubble of beard reaches across the rest of his body. And he stands up. And
Because we're thirsty bitches. I get it.
look, as a GM, I understand my audience.
Playing to the
Lumberjack
audience.
stands up and says,
"We're here for it."
says, Goat Man? What
So,
happened to Goat Man?
I'm so sorry. This is not exactly how I intended to break the news. More, I did it. Yes, unfortunately, he was murdered during the night.
And the lumberjack grabs the axe, hefts it over his head, and drives it down that log that was on that stump. And he misses it.
He misses it. What does he hit?
The ground.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like shin or something. Good
No.
Cool.
He just like misses the log and it goes right into the stump.
Look, I know this is rather upsetting. It was for us. We're all still processing as he was our friend. But I must ask, was he here yesterday at all? Have you seen anything weird and quick?
I mean, other than us, weirder things.
Yeah.
Goat Man was here all night with me.
What time did he leave?
He always leaves before I wake up.
Which is, yeah.
Before the sun breaks.
So it was very early morning.
Do you happen to know if there is anyone that would have ill will towards you or Goatman?
No, Goatman is. Why are you here? Explain.
We want to, we're trying to gather information to see who killed him, and we thought you might have some inside information that would help us.
And when you say killed him, his heart breaks to 1,000 pieces.
Oh.
And he with bottle still in the hand, he seems to like take a like he was going to like go hard on it, and then doesn't. Like he tries to rip it, and he just can't. And he takes like a sip, and he like coughs a little bit, and he turns back to the rest of the party, and he says, "I will tell you everything I can, but I don't know what happened."
That's all right. Any information you may have is wonderful.
Chessie will place a delicate flipper on the oh my god, I forgot the word lumberjack. Sorry.
No, I get it. No, there's a
flipper
lot's going on here, and like our brains are like beginning to moisten.
Yes. Also, Chessie hasn't been in water for a while. What the fuck? I'm too autistic for this. Anyway, so yeah, she'll put like a delicate flipper on the lumberjack's shoulder and just be like,
I know that it must be really weird and scary for a bunch of cryptids to come show up at your door and to tell you that the person you love most is no longer with us, but we face loss too, in different ways. We're not so different. We just want to help heal whatever is polluting your heart. Just like humans have polluted my home over the last 50 years.
So the lumberjack reaches up and he places his hand on your flipper. And that's when you realize that he suffers from tremors. He can't hold an axe anymore.
Heart, we go to some.
Ooh, I know the voice keeps on piercing it.
I love the voice. It's always welcome. It's always
great.
Coco,
Send it.
describe the smell that you smelled.
Ooh.
Yes, there was a very strong smell that's not found here in the woods. I think it is one of the smells that come from the humans. It was found at the place that Goatman was found. Do you happen to know any smells like that?
It was very we found like little shards of metal on Goatman.
I have so many things made of metal. Maybe take a look around. Smell and see if you can find it. I don't understand what I could offer in this situation.
How do a bunch of cryptids describe new car smell?
I know, right?
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
But I think you could try to match it. You know what I mean? Like if there's like a similar kind of thing around the compound. Not compound, is cabin.
I mean, as human, does the lumberjack have like a pickup truck or something around here?
So he does have a pickup truck, but it doesn't smell like new car smell because it's got like an old Ford model.
But it's like car smell.
Yeah.
So it's
new
like
car smell.
It's not new car smell, but it is car smell.
So
Well,
his
sometimes
doesn't
my
smell
car
car
smells
smell
like
anymore.
French fries, so
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Leather.
The lumberjack's truck does not smell like new car smell or like car smell, like what we imagine car smell to be.
Mm-hmm.
Does it smell
But
like
there
an
might-
air freshener?
It smells like sap, resin. It smells like old dog treats. It smells like sweat. It smells like mud. It smells like the things that the lumberjack lived.
Mm.
But I'd like a roll from El Kukui. And I would love to see if you could perceive maybe where a smell might match this.
Okay. I would not be able to use my new keen smell, so
I think key smell applies, like a D8, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking for a
And
5 or better.
Ooh, I got a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
Smell is you could assist.
Well,
So you could spend 2 effort, and we could re-roll that.
okay, so it just doesn't matter as long as I spend 2 effort.
That's correct. But you do need to tell me how you do assist Coco here.
Exactly. That's exactly my thing. I don't know how I could, because like, she didn't purposefully smell the scent because it was too strong.
Maybe that's part of it.
Could be
Where is
part
it
of
too
it.
strong?
Yeah.
So it was too strong in her nose.
Yep.
So there was some sort of scent that was too strong, maybe something like leather or some sort of cleaning material.
Yeah, you got overstimulated by something, and that might be something to give Coco like a hint here.
Moth Mommy is a
Roll it.
just like me.
All right, Justin, roll it again.
Okay, that was 2 efforts. What
I got a 4.
You got a 4. The scent comes not from the truck. It comes from the lumberjack's pocket. His front pocket.
So I imagine like I'm gonna be sniffing around. Mother helps me get the smell, and then you're just gonna see as I like flash and disappear, and then I'll pop in right behind him and just say, the smell that we had found at his body is in your pocket. Can you please take it out?
That's
And
one way to
explain to us.
ask to get him into his pants.
Yeah, I was wondering how we were gonna go about that.
So the lumberjack kind of like, first of all, is not surprised by like the teleportation kind of situation. You just get the vibe that this lumberjack has been like around cryptids long enough, and slowly, without looking at you, reaches into his pocket and pulls out a smartphone. The smartphone smells like new cars.
Interesting. That's it. That's it.
It's odd. This is not sharp enough. Just like kind of poking it. This is not sharp enough to cut into people.
No, but
It's
maybe he broke it, and that's what's all over him. Was a phone that he broke.
But
My-
wait, hold on.
my
I kinda
grand.
know-
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I feel like I see things thrown in the water all the time like this, and those phones are not easy to like split and create like a weapon with.
Could his horn break it? Like if it was in their pocket or something, he rammed into them and shattered a phone.
Oh.
Something like that.
So the lumberjack speaks
Yeah.
up and says, I don't even know how it works. My granddaughter said I had to get one,
Where's the silver fox?
and I got one from the people. You know. I don't even know how it makes phone calls. It's not like it doesn't have buttons.
Interesting.
I really don't know how it works either.
You can take it if you want.
No, it's yours. We have no need for it. It's all right. We know what the scent is. You know, you keep it. Maybe your granddaughter will assist you.
Maybe.
Did Goatman happen to say if he had any plans today? If he was visiting anyone?
And the lumberjack takes like a wistful look that like solidifies and then like dampens and then saddens. And then he says no. No plans.
Oh.
Sassy's
then.
being. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, well then.
So
Sassy's
Sassy,
being quiet.
Sassy's been quiet the entire time. Sassy had come in waiting to like put a foot through someone's face, right?
Oh.
But just hasn't really reacted since, and just kind of like has been cowed away, just like not really.
Guilt.
Yeah.
By chance, now that we've identified that smell and what's coming from it, is that smell anywhere else within our proximity?
Not really. I mean, that new smell that's there, that's a very human smell. And it's like just recently been introduced even to their environment, especially in Erie, Indiana. That said, that particular smell, that particular manufacturing process is not like a common thing that's happened here before. It must have been something new introduced.
So not very many humans would have this currently then.
So, does it...
Hold on. So this is This Amber's going through like 12 different
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah. Let's talk it up. Let's jam.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm getting the vibe that it's definitely like, Jackrabbit and Sassy, but how do we tie it back to them?
Exactly.
And I'm wondering, is Jackrabbit from the this is Jackrabbit from the desert? Like, does it smell like desert? Or
Jackalopes are from Germany.
Might I ask, could you remind me who our sponsor was at the beginning?
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Oh, so yes, our tour was sponsored by and granted by Fox Dynamics. In 2014, they actually struck a deal with the city to begin building their white box factory. It's on the outskirts of town.
What's a white box?
I assume a phone. Right.
It's a high-tech factory. A lot of trucks go in and out and that kind of stuff. They were supposed to inject millions of dollars into this, aging community, and they didn't get a single penny out of it. And instead, they just tore up the land, put pollutants in it, and just began having trucks come in and out. Meanwhile, all the businesses and whatnot were starving.
Feel unbridled rage.
Apple or Amazon? Fuck them.
Oh no, RPGs is allegory. That couldn't.
That's
In
that's
my
impossible.
TTRPG?
No way.
At my Christian Minecraft server.
not mistress. Okay.
I think,
You got it.
Cat lady.
I think we
because
did.
I'm introduced. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think we need to go to the town.
Yeah.
I know Cat Lady was big suspect number 2, but I think we need to go to the town.
I agree.
That's where my very, very reliant source saw things move towards.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Okay.
Do we know what kind of fast they were talking about? Like maybe like a human run or like flash type run?
Not really, just like
Okay, just fast.
Fast.
Fast to a squirrel is pretty dang fast.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Are you heading back to Erie, Indiana properly?
Yeah.
So right into the heart of the human city.
We can fend for ourselves. They're scared of us anyways. Except the one
Yeah,
time
and-
I mistakenly saved people from a fire. That was a dumb choice.
I will say that I have explicitly bad taste as one of my struggles. So if you're trying to not stand out, I will do poorly.
Yeah, Chessie, like, her flippers make
Yeah.
noises when she walks, just for the record.
So I feel like Steven's really the best dressed for this, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
She is,
I'm
again,
still-
a
I'm
leopard.
I'm just I have a little suit in my briefcase at all times.
You have like the coattails, the top hat, and the cane. Hello, my darling. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really are the most well equipped for the job.
So as you arrive,
It is on my resume.
as the sun begins to set, you arrive in the city itself. Now, some of you might actually have been to Erie, Indiana before. I don't know how long it's been, but the city has gone through like a lot of just degradation. Not only have people been like not only has money not been going into the city to fund the repairs and the maintenance and whatnot, people have just left, right? Like the population is aging because everyone who grew up here knew they couldn't stay because there's no opportunities here. They had to go to like Chicago, they had to go to New York, they had to go to Los Angeles. So what you're left with is this town that's just like creaks and cracks all over the place. However, this particular town is different than your typical dying town. Just in the recent couple of days, as you approach, you see that the streets are being patrolled by robots. Mechanical beings on 4 legs with like a camera in front, and they just walk around. And even as you approach, you can see as like someone litters or someone like seems to loiter a little too much, one of these robots begins to nudge them or prompt them, or otherwise like do something to invoke some kind of other behavior. And you can see that sometimes they don't really pay attention to other circumstances. Sometimes people walk a little slower, and that's probably the pace they walk at. But these particular bots do not seem to comprehend that. And as you approach the city proper of Erie, Indiana, the white box looms on the horizon, and you see these robot dogs corralling people and harassing them.
When we get into when we see does the smell resonate with them?
It is overwhelming.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh wait. It's more overwhelming for you guys because you're closer. Malfoy's just gonna stay at the back of the group, basically.
Excellent. As you approach, all of the robot dogs in the vicinity seem to like perk up, look to you, and their heads begin to like move up and down as if scanning or looking at you. And then in unison. Oh, go ahead.
So
In unison.
I have the trait heatless.
Oh.
So if they are doing heat sensing on me, they don't vision that relies on heat sensing does not receive benefits when searching for me, and my skin/surface is always cold to the touch.
Perfect. I think that they use an amalgam of data, and body temperature is definitely one of them, checking for like heart rate and things like that. People who are specifically hot, probably people who use drugs and like
We're all
overdosing
hot.
and like, yeah. So yeah, I think you might be throwing off their sensors a little bit, but either way, 3 of them in unison laying down, and from their backs, a knife comes out.
Is
And they-
Sasquatch with us?
Yeah.
Sassy got lost. It's just
Of course.
That sounds about
of course
right.
he did.
Yeah, that checks. That
God
checks.
dang Zorro.
let's do. Yeah, you know this is Zorro. This is Zorro. This is happening. Let's do some combat, y'all. So sagas combat. Players go first. Enemies go second, unless there's like something else going on. So you tell me who's gonna go first. In sagas, I want you to imagine in the theater of your mind various zones. I'm not gonna name them because I don't think it's necessary here, but you and the robots are one zone apart. On your turn, you can move. You can move again, which probably wouldn't be very helpful, but you can also attack. You can use abilities and that kind of thing. But players go first. There are 3 robot dogs in front of you. And I'm gonna make it a little complicated. There's 2 humans here as well.
So
Are
bad
they-
news.
No, it just hit
What-
me that these are the cursed robot dogs that gross. Ew.
Are the humans like
RPGs is
these-
allegory.
are those the humans that were getting like corralled, or is those the humans that are like
Part of
with
them.
the dogs?
They've got to be humans who are like couldn't get out of the scene fast enough due to any reason.
Great, we're gonna save people again. I refuse to be on the cover this time. I was drinking.
But players go
alright?
first. You
I
have
would-
3 robot dogs in front of you.
I would like, if I may, to fly like maybe 10 feet into the air above them,
Mm-hmm.
and then pull my long whip out of.
Your whip.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
You know, my long whip is right by 500 DWs. I wonder
Yep.
if maybe they'll come into play next time.
We'll see.
And I would like to take my whip and just like whip it down to try to like yank one of the knives away from the dogs.
Excellent. I'd like you to make an attack roll. So typically, like every other roll in the game, a D10. But if you have any other like modifiers or talents or like things like that, that might change the dice you roll.
Ooh, well, okay. I do have kleptomania. I assume that these are shiny knives. However, that is a struggle, so it does not help me.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep. No, you get distracted and like your whip falls short here.
Oh,
Who goes next?
fuck.
No, go ahead. So for Mothma, she's not gonna go yet, but Mother's kind of unable to do a whole lot because of the sensitive smells coming from there. So all my rolls are gonna be D12s. So I really fucked myself over with that one. So please, everybody go before me.
Okay. Yeah, I actually want to. So I took grip as one of my talents. And so because I have a prehensile tail, and I can use my tail to grab things, and then use the thing I grab as a weapon. That's what I built this character for.
Oh.
So I would like to grab one of the robot dogs. And then use it to throw it at another robot dog, to see if I can damage them both.
I love that. Go ahead and roll it. So, is it a D10 or do you have like extra modifiers there?
It is a D10.
D10. Okay. So, the defense you're looking to beat here is a 6. So I need a 6 or less.
Okay, great. That is a 5, so I just
5.
beat it. Yay!
Excellent. So I'm gonna say you deal 1 damage to that one bot. Oh, sorry, you disable the first bot, and then you're going to hit the second bot and deal 1 damage.
Great, love it.
Excellent. As you deal 1 damage to the bot, you see that its frame is like not really designed for critical damage. And it just stops. The third dog just stops, and a little light comes up out of its back, and it begins flashing.
I want to use my disrupt talent.
That's your turn. Go for it.
Yeah. So as it says as your action, but also says this does not require an action. It can be done at any time.
Cool.
But
cool. Let's get that feedback later on. But let's use it as your action.
So when I may spend 2 effort to attempt to prevent another creature's action. When I do, make a check or contest a check against the creature that caused the effect, and I use a D10. So essentially, I'm gonna be just sticking out my tongue and hitting this robot dog to try to disrupt this, prevent it from doing the alarm.
All right, let's try to beat a 6.
Okay. I got a 3.
A 3. With that, your tongue lashes out, and a sticky saliva coats the creature. You realize that inside of each one of these dogs is a very small explosive device, such that when they are heavily damaged, they can just detonate. You have disabled that. On its next turn, it simply is going to just drop disabled. So, you all have a chance whenever these dogs are damaged to stop it from exploding, but they explode on death.
Ooh.
I have control fire. Could that help if there was an explosion?
We'll see.
Okay, love it.
All right, who goes next?
Well, that throws the wrench into what I was thinking about doing, because I was going to say whichever one is like whichever one isn't damaged or damaged to the point of being disabled, I was going to grab it, flash out, and move it to another place away from us.
Yeah, that one is disabled, so it's going to just disable itself. The explosion won't happen, so you're good.
Okay.
But there's still 2 more dogs.
I'll grab one of the other dogs then, and instead of moving it away, I would like to grab it and then zoom up into the flash out and go back into and go higher into the sky.
Absolutely.
I also have Gripper as well, so.
Good.
What is it? Yeah, so I'll grab it, head on up, and then once I jump up to that height, I'm essentially going to like toss it as far out as I can.
100%. Yeah, I love it. I'm
Okay.
still going to use its defense, so you're still looking for a 6 or better.
Okay. Then that's going to be a 7 for me.
That's going to be a miss. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say you try to like grapple it and things like that. Do you still want to move higher up, or do you want to stay in the zone with them?
I'm gonna stay in the zone with them.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're still with them. You're like wrestling with it as it like, tries to like its motors and things like strain against you. You're both
Mhm.
locked together in combat. Who's left?
Me. Unless anyone else wants to go first with ideas.
I think everyone has
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
I think it's just you. So
Cool.
Mother, take us home.
I don't know how. How many are left? 2? Okay. This is gonna sound a little complicated.
Oh, sorry. One more thing, Justin. Make sure you mark an effort. Every time you fail a roll, you gain an effort.
That's
Okay.
right.
Got it.
Um,
We'll mark
what
that
is that?
effort now.
So actually, I believe you failed 1 roll for like earlier on.
Yeah.
So gain an effort unless you were at max already.
even yeah, I was at max then.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of want to use my control fire thing, but this might be a little odd. So I want to try and use control fire to create a controlled explosion with one of the devices.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So they all have an explosive device in their chassis.
Mhm.
You're gonna control that fire.
Mhm.
Okay. Can you please read for me control fire?
Yes, page 27. Let me just get there real quick. Page 4, 5, 6, 27. Dodge power disabled. Control fire. You can control the movement and shape of flame up to the size and melee range to move as you will or extinguish. As long as you're controlling the flame using this power, it does not require a fuel source. You can control the flame using this power at rank 1. To use this, you do a melee attack, which is a d10. And this is a level 2 action, rank 2. As an action, you can create the same amount of flame you're able to control. You can use this flame to attack immediately using the same action.
So here's how I'm gonna rule this. If you control flame with your D10,
Mhm.
you are going to immediately disable an explosive device.
Okay.
Like you can just like control the inert flame. I'm gonna
Ooh.
rule that.
Okay.
As an action, you can create the same amount of flame you're able to control. So if you succeed, I'll let you attack using their own explosive device.
Okay. And I am probably gonna have to use a d12 because of my because I have sensitivity problems.
You have sensitivity problems, so unless someone were to give you like another sensory to like help dampen this, they smell very much like new car smell, which is
Not
intense.
great.
So I need a D12, and I need
Okay.
you to beat a. Ooh, I need you to beat a. Where am I? 6.
Oh, it fell. Yeah. That was 12.
12. It's bad.
I I have
That's
failed
clever.
a roll, therefore I have one additional effort, and I will
Yep.
give those 2 efforts to Moth Mummy.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
We love it.
How will I
Let's
do
So what does
that?
that look like?
I will flap my wings.
Yes!
I don't remember how I screamed earlier, but I'm guessing that this is
How
a different
every-
scream, and it's like, yo!
I
Just like
think
that.
it was
That's a good
very much
scream.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Please let this not be wasted. A 6.
A 6 meets it. You disable that second dog's explosive core, and you, as an action, you can create the same amount of flame you're able to control. You can immediately attack using the same action. So I'd like you to attack using that in its own internal explosive device.
That was a 7.
A 7. A 7 does not hit, but its explosive device is disabled. It explodes, and like the shell, the chassis of like a robot dog, continues to pursue after you, as would be terrifying of police dogs.
Yeah.
It is their turn, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so they approach. I think the one attack. Coco. I think the one that you're kind of grappling with. I think it's going to attack you.
Mhm.
So
That
I'm
checks
going to
out.
roll here. I rolled a 9, so it's going to miss.
Okay.
So it like kind of lashes out at you with like that blade shoulder and whatnot, and you see that these move in a very unnatural way. They just kind of like bzz, bzz, and then like attack, which is not how animals really kind of do their thing. It's just like very like unnatural and like, to be honest, pretty disgusting. Anyways,
No, 100%.
the last one is going to move one zone closer towards Mother and attack Mother, having had its core disabled. I rolled a 7, which also doesn't hit. So it feebly tries to attack at you.
Cute.
After that round is done, you see like a dark shadow kind of appear. Not a dog, but more humanoid. It crouches on a lamppost and it kind of lands down, its body heavier than you'd assume it would be, and begins stepping forward. And as it does, 2 blades out of its forearms extend, and they glisten in the now setting sun. And with a LED light on its head, it says, "Threats detected. Threats to be eliminated." A 3rd combatant has joined. Players, it's your turn.
Man, wouldn't it just be really cool if we could just, do a really big yell that Sasquatch would find us, please?
For real. It's gotta be one
Um,
of those things where it's like we're in such big trouble and then it makes you forget about the one thing that's gonna save them.
I think you're asking too much at that point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's gone.
It's Sagas. You can ask wherever you want.
It's true.
That's true. If we want Sasquatch to come through and save our ass, why not?
Mm.
Man, if only we know someone that has a voice talent to do it.
To scream.
Ah!
I'll
I
give
need
it.
that as my alarm to wake up in the morning.
I'll give it for free because Sasquatch is trying to find you, but like literally cannot. I think that's good, but I'm gonna make it cost your action. You cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Flap, flap, flap. Y'all already heard what came out of my mouth.
Cool.
I didn't hear it. You were on mute.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. You'll have to watch the VOD.
Take it.
Oh. Okay, everyone, watch the VOD just so like to clip that scream.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes.
Sasquatch arrives, and as Sasquatch arrives, you see in their hand is a giant. You know, in parking lots how they have that weird cement block with rebar just like coming out of it, and they just use
Yeah.
that to say like don't like go too far in this parking spot.
Yeah.
I never really understood it, but Sasquatch has one just in his hand, and he's just dragging it. Clearly got lost.
Sounds right.
All right, Sasquatch has joined the fight. Who goes next?
Everyone before me.
I'm trying to think of what I can do.
Yeah,
Disrupting is my move.
You can
Okay.
still disrupt,
Yeah.
or you can just
We
attack.
I was gonna say you could just punch for the sake of punching, and it's just a casual roll.
Yeah. So if you
That's
have
true.
an unarmed
It's a
attack with
D10.
D12,
Yeah.
but y'all cryptids,
Or D12.
right?
Yeah.
I would like to flash from where I'm at over to the new thing from behind, and then just try and take a chomp out of its neck. I just see what happens. Just
Yeah, for sure.
I rolled a 4.
A 4, excellent. You chomp into its neck, 100%. And as you do, you see it has kind of like you know, like cars have like that thing where like they break away pretty naturally to like reduce the damage.
Mm-hmm.
You get covered in like metal shards, not unlike what Goatman was covered in. But it does take damage.
I'm gonna spit it out and be like, "This tastes disgusting."
Excellent.
Is
Yeah,
there-
you're covered in new car smell. Who goes next?
Did you rip like a hole into it?
Tell
That
me
I
more.
can-
What do you?
that
Tell
I
me
can-
more.
That I can stick my tongue into.
Oh yeah, you want to stick your tongue in that hole? Okay.
Do it.
Because what is it? The description that the urban legends tell of Kukui is that he has like a massive mouth full of teeth. So it's just like as soon as I pop him, you'll actually like see like the image of his face come out, and then bite down, take out this massive chunk that's about like 2 hand sizes, like in there, pull that out. So it should be about pretty big.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big hole. You want to tongue that?
Yeah, let me tongue that.
Talking about
Roll
hole.
for tongue.
Roll for tongue.
Uh-huh. Rolling for tongue.
Dennis, I'm sorry for what we're doing to your system.
I'm
You're not
not.
sorry at all.
I was
No,
gonna say,
absolutely not
Dennis, I'm
sorry.
not.
Don't lie on stream.
Hey, did you know
There's
that
no crits.
Sagas could be a
I mean,
hoarding
I
game
got
too?
one. I got
Every
one.
time-
You got
Amber,
one. You
okay.
crit.
No, no.
I don't know if Dennis has a crit mechanic in this, but I'm gonna give you a +1 damage on it. Because I feel like crit should do extra damage, right?
I mean, disrupt doesn't even do any damage, so
Oh, okay. You're just disrupting their ability. Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna use
I'm gonna-
I'm using my ability again.
Rolling a 1 is a crit and deals 1 extra damage. Players
I'm
win
gonna give you
time.
1
Ooh.
damage, even though you don't do damage. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, I marked that
I have
damage.
no effort now.
I marked that damage.
PC damage. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just saying, yeah, it deals 1 extra damage. So, yeah.
Okay, so no, you crit, you disable. So this creature also has like a core that will explode, and I'm just gonna say that your saliva just like encompasses it. You're just like no more death knell. You're like when you die, go back to the earth.
Mm.
Excellent, I love that. Who goes next? There's one dog and there's one creature out there.
So, I also took wrestler as a talent, which means when I hold a creature, I can attack them by squeezing vulnerable spots. Whatever is the most damage out of the two, I would like to take that and squeeze it and crush it to death.
Technically, it's like that boss creature, that like scary humanoid one.
I would like to squeeze it to death, please.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Okay. And then I do use a D10 for that. So
Okay.
that is. Hey, does anyone want to spend an effort
Yes.
to help? Thank you.
Yes, I have one
Okay.
left. I will give it to you by shouting words of affirmation.
I'm probably like,
so-
I'm not used to.
Should I do that or?
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear those words of affirmation.
Yes.
I mean, like,
not used
obviously,
to
right?
fighting things.
First of all, I'm so sorry. You are so strong. You are so wonderful. You can squeeze anything you want. Just think real hard. Use all your strength, squeeze it real hard.
That's a 3. Yeah.
3 will squeeze
It
it.
worked.
So is it 1 damage?
Yeah.
Excellent. With 1 damage, you see, as you squeeze it, that mechanism to like begin that explosive device boots up, then powers down. It's still like kicking, but it can't explode. Is there anyone I'm missing? I think it was all the players' turns, right? Yeah, it's all the players' turns.
Does spending that effort count as On's action?
Oh.
On, did you didn't go. On, go.
Oh, okay.
Mother.
What's left? Not the demons.
1 dog and the humanoid robot.
Humanoid robot is currently being squozed to death.
Yep.
Probably go after the dog again. I'll probably just do like. I'll probably use the fire again because that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
So I want to do it again. 4.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Easy, sweet. Okay, now it's.
So make an attack.
That was also a 4.
Great. Y'all doing really good. So
Okay.
you disable its core device and then attack it using its own explosive device, and the last dog just kind of detonates on the spot, leaving behind this 1 humanoid creature.
Perfect.
All right, it's turn.
I have a
So
feeling I have
because-
no more good rolls left. Good luck, everyone.
Because it's a boss monster, it actually gets to go twice. So number 1, I'm gonna attack Chessie.
Actually, hold on. Boss monster's in my grip. Hold on. It says neither you nor the creature can move when I'm holding a creature my size or smaller.
Oh, good. It's gonna attack you. It doesn't need to move. It wants you.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
I rolled a 10, which is a critical fail. Nothing happens on a fail,
I'm
but 10
too
always.
powerful.
It always.
Yes.
And then it just attacks again.
Okay.
I got a 4. I don't think players have defense. You don't have a defense score, right?
So
There is a talent that you can pick up that is dodge melee. So there's an ability to avoid melee attacks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I rolled a 4, which generally hits players.
yeah.
And there's
Well,
like
hold on.
another like thing in the monster thing, but anyways, the 4's gonna hit you. These
Yeah.
monsters deal 2 damage. So this boss monster deals 2 damage. And Chessie, I am sorry to say, but it lacerates you. So this is a wound.
I
Even
will be
if
able
you
to
could-
heal you.
Even if
Later.
you could roll a d8, I'm gonna force a d10 instead because of the wound. Its blade, its forearm blade, rips through, and it's that clean surgical cut of which you've seen many times.
Yep.
That's its turn. Players, you get to go again.
I
Okay.
w-
No. Go.
I was thinking I could use my vampirism to bite this boss, and it says I gain a d8 on checks to persuade someone to do something. And so I was thinking that I could persuade them to attack the CEO of White Box Company instead of us.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make that a little bit more difficult. They have a defense, but because they're not flesh and blood, I think it's fair to say that vampirism is a little bit harder. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't love it, but
I know you don't love it, but like I'm asking how you feel about it.
I mean, I would roll a d10 perhaps.
I'll give you a D10. No, 100% D10. I'm not gonna give you like a D8 or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, but I am gonna give a defense of one more, because it's not flesh and blood. So I'm gonna say 4 or better.
Please don't fuck me. Okay.
Let's go back to the lumberjack.
It is a 4. Did you just say go back to the lumberjack?
No, it's okay. Forget it. So you bite it.
I'm sorry,
Ignore that.
what?
No, don't worry about
Excuse
it.
me?
Don't worry about it. Ignore
We
it.
moved on.
That was the last damage there. So as you bite down, Mothman, as they bite down on this like creature, you can see that the neural network of the creatures aren't actually different than humans, or at least they're different, but like in the worst way. They're so simple. Like there's no art in it. Like when you have to like vampiric a person, Mothman, when you vampirize a person, like what kind of like struggles and like thought process do you go through, so I can properly explain to you how simple these creatures are?
Yeah, I think, wow, that's a beautiful looking vein, and I would just love to sink my teeth into it and make them bleed. That's what I think of.
That's my boy.
And as you go into this, you see like there's nothing. It's like they have literally one circuit feeding the entire thing. It's ridiculous. There's no redundancy in it at all. Like at least with a person, like you could, bite an arm and like they're gonna live. Like the trunk is fine. But these things are made so cheaply with the cheapest amount of copper wire possible. You could literally bite it anywhere. And as long as you disrupt the circuit, they're pretty much done. But you don't. And instead, you use your cryptid powers and you decide that, hey, maybe go back and find the person who programmed you and bite them back.
Because
So-
they will have the vampire trait one day from now.
Excellent. So cyborg robot rises up from your bite, and like the LEDs flash on its eyes, and it says, I don't have a good general term for parent. Sire sire's pretty gendered, I think. I'll go sire.
What are they using?
My liege.
That's
You
what
just
they use in
Air?
Vampire the Masquerade is sire. It's
Yeah.
usually used for either one.
I always thought sire was like pretty gendered, but like that's my own personal bias.
I do like liege,
Liege?
though.
Yeah.
Liege? Let's go with liege.
It's a good one.
So
oh,
yeah,
these rules.
I think the creature like says in LEDs on its eyes, "My liege," and then with like a broken body, like coils up and launches itself up into the evening sun.
What the fuck?
The sun created him?
No, I mean like it's like
He's just jumping
effortless.
away.
It just fucked off into the sun.
Like,
He's jumping away. Summons the sun as a spirit bomb. No.
Oh god. We can't
And
fight
with that, you see the creature just bound from lamppost to lamppost back towards that white box. The people that are here, they don't really know what to make of it. They have never really seen you before. They know of you, but they've never seen you in person.
Hey ho.
And yeah, they just kind of like wave and smile and just like
I know. They'll never believe you, and then just back off into the forest.
yeah. And as you do, we go to the epilogue. So, as you return back to Jack and Sassy, you begin to comb through the archives and whatnot. Your gut wasn't wrong, but it wasn't right. It turns out that Fox Dynamics knew of cryptids. In fact, their designs are based actually on one of your own. It's based on the Jersey Devil.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's why they wanted to build here. It's cheap enough that you could build here and get the Jersey Devil. But in order to do that, they needed Jack's approval, and it turns out that they offered Jack some human money. Jack wasn't exactly innocent in all of this, but he thought that maybe he was far enough that it'd be okay. We go to the epilogue. In the epilogue, I'd love to hear more about where people can find you and whatnot, but I'd also love to know what you do to change the commune now that you've exposed Jack's corruption and how he did not have the commune's best interest in heart. So who wants to take us away here? Where can we find you?
Back talking with pretty much everybody else who's left, and wants to pitch the idea of moving somewhere else, because there's no way that that word's not going to spread somehow.
Excellent. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Word's going to spread. The National Choir is going to spread most of that word. It'd be easy enough just to discredit them.
Yeah.
But you can't have the Globe and Mail publish a piece like this.
Yeah.
Which should be easy enough. It's only people, right? Excellent. Moving on. How do you react to this news?
Distraught, but also putting on a brave face for everybody else. Because if they see somebody else who's kind of in a more quote-unquote leadership position taking it really hard and just not being able to rally everybody together and keep them safe, then they lose faith.
Absolutely. As we kind of close off, as the sun begins to set and things like that, and exposing Jack's corruption, how do your characters change the commune? What happens next? Oh, sorry. Before we do that, where can people find you? This is supposed to be like double. Like, yeah. Tell me where people can find you.
Yeah, my name is short for Anduin, which is inspired by the River Anduin from Lord of the Rings. I actually have it translated and tattooed in Elvish on my arm. But you can find me pretty much all the time over at Roll D5, ROLED5, where I am the creator of that Twitch channel where we specialize in playing indie TTRPGs such as this one that we have played over there too, and now I have the pleasure to play Sagas. I am a proud backer of Sagas, and I hope you are too.
Excellent. Who wants to go next with an outro / how you kind of close off the epilogue here?
Yeah, I'll go. So Chessie, after squeezing and throwing all of these evil, polluting, bad guys to death? ? Can you kill metal? Who knows? That's an ethical question for later. But take some time to heal her big slashed wound. She uses. It inspires her to create almost like a triage for the cryptids who have been harmed by human intervention in our little commune.
I healed you, by the way, with my powers.
Yes.
Paramedic. I healed you.
I know, but it's
beautiful.
Yeah, but it's still like
sure.
but there's still like social wounds that need.
Yeah, the spirit of it, right?
Yeah.
Physical wound.
Yeah, Mother won't always be there. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. So Chessie is going to be using the water is always going to be a healing safe space for people, basically, in the commune. I think that is, and also she's very strict. Do not pollute the waters. Do not do it. Don't do it. She'll eat you. First she'll squish you, maybe, and then she'll eat you.
Like kind of like one of those like a freezy, right? Like you just kind of yeah. I feel that.
Like that. Anyway.
Very graphic. I love that.
I'm not
strong. Anyway, so hi everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am a 3-time Emmy-nominated TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer, and I'm also a stretch goal on Sagas. Yay! I've been kind of keeping up with the funding so far, and we're just under 20% funded, which is wild given that like it only launched like a couple hours ago. So wow, incredible. If we hit $30,000, we will get a full. There's already going to be some light anime rules, so it's going to be included. But if we get $30,000, there's going to be full anime rules for you to run whatever you want. So if you want to be, fuck it, I'll include how to merge your daughter and her dog together.
No, why?
No,
No, why did you?
Nope. Just don't. It costs you nothing to not write that.
Booth, actually, we don't need to raise it to that. No.
If I get to raise it to a higher level to not write that.
I'm joking. I'm just proving that I know anime. Okay, but yeah, anyway. Thank you for having me, Jess. Thank you to this incredibly talented table. Thank you, Steve, for running this hilarious game. And I can't wait to see y'all later.
Excellent.
Sorry.
As we kind of close
I'm a
off
menace.
here, you know, the commune has exposed Jack's corruption here. The jackalope maybe was looking to maybe coalesce with the worst kind of humankind. How do we improve the community, and where can we find you?
Yeah. I think we had like a full Ace Attorney kind of scene with Steven. Just like, as we present to the court of the commune, Jack has been accused and proven to commit all of these crimes. Jack is now forbidden to interact in any way with the commune and decide it, and is no longer have the power to decide things for the commune, and is therefore banished to Iowa.
Oh. So there's like a dramatic court scene where you're like grilling them as the lawyer, and what's his name? Nicholas Jackalope? Nicholas Jackson from like A Few Good Men? What's his name? Jack Nicholson. Jackalope Nicholson is what I'm going for. That's the pun I'm going for. Jackalope Nicholson
okay.
says you can't handle the truth, and just like spitting everywhere. It's a great moment. Like, it's so good. It's so emotional. But clearly, Jackalope is like in the wrong here, right? Mm-hmm. He ordered it, and the jury and everything sees this as like a thing. You've begun to unravel the system that allowed this. And although you are like a cryptid commune, sometimes power bubbles up, and power unchecked can lead to corruption and tyranny. And as a Froggy attorney, you have begun those steps to make sure that people are accountable and held accountable for their actions. AJ, where can people find you?
Yeah. I'm AJ. You can find me all over the internet as Husha_kid. I am the technical producer for Critical Misses. Right now, Critical Misses is doing a call for GMs and storytellers right now. You have until the end of this week to submit something to possibly be on our next season that is coming up. And soon enough, we will have a call out for players. So be on the lookout for that. I also do video editing, and I transcribe. Currently transcribing for the works of the second book of Polyhedral. It's in the works. It's in the works. So.
All right, Justin, I'm gonna hand over to you. So as like the sun continues to set, Jackalope is clearly implicated in like the atrocities to your community. How do you try to make amends and try to like improve the situation?
The way that I see El Kukui trying to make amends to the situation, just trying to like help improve on things. I think one of the things that he would do is just essentially go out and try and just kind of keep tabs on like the city itself, and just making sure like what we did to kind of prevent that the corporation from trying to intrude on us doesn't get fed back into it, doesn't have money fed back into us, and to try and like subvert any sort of efforts that he can, whether it's just scaring people off, acting like a ghost or whatever have you. He's all for just kind of being that outward protector for the commune.
Absolutely. You find yourself having to clean up some of the stray dogs built from the factory, and even using dogs I use like derogatorily, and that like they're not dogs, they are machines, but you find yourself having to clean up the streets for them. And you do find yourself within the mythology currently, the living minds of the people, where these things, if they malfunction, might find you and might arrest you in the streets. But every once in a while, a shade, a force of nature, the darkness might descend upon you. And maybe if you're a good person, maybe if you focus on your community, maybe if you love your family, whatever that family might be, maybe you'll find grace and salvation. Justin, where can people find you?
Hey everybody, I'm Forever GM. I am GM Justin. You can find me at all my social media at Forever GM Justin. Currently, right now, I am playing Oscar Villalobos in a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles called Blood Tax, ran by XL over at Take Your Roll every Wednesday night for this season. Our next episode is going to be this Wednesday. So catch me there as we're going through season 3 right now, and there's a whole lot of shenanigans that are coming towards us. It's the consequences of our actions are coming back to face us. So yeah.
Amazing. Jess, it's just you and me. I feel like you might have like ending words. I'm happy to do my outro here.
Yeah.
So, folks, you can find me. I was your facilitator. I was your game master. I was your storyteller. I was your best buddy, old pal, who's horny for old white dudes, I guess. Oh,
Hey.
You said it. You said it.
Your
Oh, hey, you can follow me on Twitter at DEEMSteve. It stands for DM Steve. That stands for slide in my DMs and talk to me about how apparently I have a thing for like old Eastern European men that are like super jacked. Oh
Hey.
god, this was like a weird stream for me, y'all. But also I had tons of fun. I love sagas. I prepped this entire thing in like an hour, and like I didn't do it while sober, which was great. And like I just had an idea. We just like came with a concept, and I just like made it happen. So Jess, you're gonna hate me as a producer, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you all my post-it notes of like my plan. Like this was it. So you can just see like this was today's stream, and that's really it. So I really enjoyed Sagas as a system. I think it's great. I think if you really enjoy this kind of like indie RPG storytelling potential, you should definitely go and take a look at their Kickstarter and potentially support them if you can, because I had a ton of fun, and I definitely will be supporting them because this is my jam. I love this. And Jess, I hand it over to you.
Hell yeah. Okay. My wrap up is that I go and find my son, and together we create Legion. And that is a detective agency to promote good works throughout the community, and not necessarily citizen police, because more like citizen detectives. to look into wrongdoings like this. Because we 5 were just citizen detectives, and now we've saved the commune. Yeah, that's that.
Excellent. Mongolian deathworm is like a living creature that doesn't need like a central nervous system. Like you just like vibes that come out, and 100% you get like your sleuthing like noir vibe of Mothman in like the fedora and like the trench coat and things like that, and then a fucking pile of worms in a trench coat. I feel like that's really evocative of like that noir, classic noir vibe, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jess, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me right here. This is my Twitch channel. You can also find me on other places on the internet at Just the Human. That's just with one S. On Wednesday, we'll be starting an Animon story stream at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be streaming our first charity stream of the year for ACLU, which is an amazing organization. Definitely check it out. The title is, oh god, I always mess this up. It is the School of Strahd Curse of Prom. Weirdly enough, we will be playing Cryptids in that game as well.
Yes.
So it should be a very fun time. I hope everyone can make it. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you to Steve for being our GM for the evening, to AJ, to Amber, to On, and to Justin for coming on and playing, for Dennis, aka the okayest DM, for creating this awesome system. If you haven't checked it out on Kickstarter yet, do it right now. As of right now, they're just under $1,700, which is absolutely fantastic because they just launched like, what, 2.5 hours ago?
Yeah.
So go and back them. And with that being said, stick around. We are going to be raiding into On's channel.
I just messaged you. They just finished like just now, so we all
Just
ended up like
kidding.
starting and stopping at the perfect time.
Hey, actually, go find something else to watch. I'm not going to do it for y'all. Find someone cool and say, hey, I like cryptids. Anyway, see you later. Bye.